Hello, my name is Jerome, and welcome to my RC Construction YouTube channel. In this part of the series, I am going to disassemble this Volvo excavator down to the bottom half of the tracks so that I can rebuild it as a hydraulic excavator. All of these parts are ESC controllers for the motors. I removed all of the double E parts out of here because they never worked, and rebuilt it with off-the-shelf parts from Amazon. Okay, I'm back. I had to put some of these white plugs on the end of here because I had cut them off when I used the off-the-shelf Amazon ESCs. So now this is all that's left that I'm going to use, and I will install this one. Putting these wires, there's a hole here. I'm putting these wires through the small hole. Okay, so I'm getting there. These are the instructions that was sent to me. It's all in Chinese. However, at the bottom down here, it lists the channels and the receiver, and there's actually English to tell me what's on there. So I had my computer up before I noticed they actually have little numbers, little tags on here, 1 through 8, to tell me where to plug it in the receiver. So for my Catalyte 961 excavator, inside of my transmitter, I made a copy of it, renamed it Volvo 160, and that's going to be the basis that I use to start programming my transmitter to get this work. So I'm at the point now I want to put some hydraulic fluid in here before I power it up, just to make sure that if the pump starts running, it won't be running dry. All right, I filled it up to this top level. Once I start exercising the hydraulics, that level is going to drop and I'll add more fluid. But I do like that little window there. Is the best view of how much fluid I have in a reservoir of any of my machines. So a big plus to them. I'll leave this screw out for the time being. So first I'll turn on my Paladin transmitter. And if you can see in the top here, I have it labeled Volvo 160E. I'll power it on. And I'll power it off. First thing I have to do is binding. So I will go to receiver, hit bind with, let me show you. So now I'm gonna hit bind with receiver. And I'll hit bind. Binding. Alright, now I hold this button, power it on, and release the button. Bind successful. And it said bind successful. Problem I had before, I kept holding this button. So let me just start doing stuff. I hear the servos. So what I have to do is mix the pump to work when I move the servos. All right, I got everything hooked up. the numbers that they had on those wires did not correspond with what they had written on the sheet. So I had to figure them out by trial and error. So we got the big arm, the stick, turn, and if you can see right here at the end of the stick, this is for the bucket, which I don't have connected. And for this middle arm, tracks. So everything is functional. I just have to attach the bucket, put the body on, and it's ready to go. I have all the wiring in place, so I'm going to put the body on. Only thing I have to figure out later on is how to get these lights to work, but it's not a big issue for me right now. I've reassembled the excavator and have run into a problem. The width of this arm is a half a millimeter wider than the old arm. This one is 26.5 millimeters. The old arm was 26 millimeters. This quick connect, I couldn't get to go on, so I kind of loosened it up, try to get it on there. That still won't work because the bucket itself is too narrow to fit on here on this quick connect. So I have got to shave this down a half a millimeter, maybe a 0.2 or quarter millimeter on each side, so that this fits correctly, so I can get the bucket to fit correctly. And I will use my Dremel tool to do that. Okay, I ground this piece down on both sides, as you can see by how it's shiny. So now the quick connect should be able to fit on. Put a little lithium grease on these pins. Good deal. So that's the conversion of the 3-arm CNC hydraulic arm from Toucan Hobby on my Volvo previously electric excavator. Digging videos to come soon. If you like what you saw, click like, feel free to subscribe, and I will talk to you later.